Okay, perfect. So, Niyati, why don't you tell me a little bit about me? Let's start with that.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to my hobbies, I love listening to music, I love watching movies,
Mm.
and I love reading books, usually fictional books. I'm
Mm.
trying to involve a little bit of self-help books as well in my list, but
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
very difficult to just switch like that because I've always been a fictional novel fan. So that's pretty much about me.
Amazing. Very nice to hear that. I love the way you have introduced yourself. Very neat, very crisp, and very well constructed. So, good job on that. So, yeah, I will definitely talk to you about the books part because I think there
Mm,
we are identical in our thoughts. Because all my life, I have been an avid reader of fiction, and I
mm,
cannot, like I have said it on multiple occasions, I cannot read self help books.
mm.
But I have my way out around that. So I'll talk about that. But for you, because we are meeting for the first time, you know my name already. It's Mopriya. I am a communication coach and a soft skills trainer. I have worked in the corporates for about 11 years, but for the last 1.5 years, I am completely on my own and I
Mm,
am working as an independent coach. Also started my YouTube journey back then, and it happened by chance, but I am totally enjoying it. Although it is a lot of hard work, but
mm,
I keep motivating myself and I keep taking time out so that I can be more consistent on YouTube. And when I am not taking classes or when I'm not creating content, I am either cooking or I am spending time with my cats, my friends, my
mm.
family. And I like to read from time to time. I do it from every day in the morning. So those are some things that I like to do. And if I have a couple of days off, then definitely I'm traveling somewhere because I love to travel. So
Mm.
yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Okay. So when it comes to traveling, I saw one of your vlogs. It was a Jaipur vlog, I think, which you uploaded 2 weeks
Mm,
ago. So yeah, that's
right,
how I
right.
got to know that you really are a lot into traveling. And one there
Oh
was a
yes.
recent one also, I think, within a week or so.
Mm,
Hmm.
correct, correct. Yeah. So yeah, I love traveling because
Hmm.
especially in Maharashtra, there are a lot of weekend getaway places that you have,
Hmm.
especially during monsoon. So that helps. But even outside of Maharashtra, whenever we get some time, for me, taking an off is not that difficult now. But even
Hmm.
for my husband, he has to plan his leaves because his office and his work has certain seasons where he cannot take leaves at all, and things like that. He has blackout at his workplace. So we need to really be smart about our travel plans and we have to
Yeah.
plan in advance.
Hmm. So what's the best place that you've been to, according to you? Your favorite one?
Oh, I cannot be that biased, I cannot,
Hmm.
because every place I visit, it has a charm of its own.
Yeah.
So that's why it gets really difficult for me to select a specific place.
Hmm.
Last year, when we went for the Rajasthan trip, we covered Udaipur, Jaipur, and
Hmm.
we were supposed to go to Mount Abu, but we didn't go there. But out of Udaipur and Jaipur, if you ask me which is my favorite, I would definitely hands on choose Udaipur because it was
Yeah.
far more, beautiful. It was more calmer, and it was. I don't know, it had a different charm of its own, wherein Jaipur now seemed to be a little more commercialized than
Yeah.
the time I was there. Like I stayed in Jaipur for 6 months back in
Hmm.
2007, and that's why I was super excited to go to Jaipur because in 2007 it was a different scenario altogether in
Hmm.
Jaipur, but now it's far more commercialized. So I like calm places when I'm on holiday. So that's why Udaipur hands down wins.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely that's the case for me as well. I prefer greenery over anything else because I'm a city
Mhm.
girl. I live in city, so I just want to escape. We usually just want to escape the places where we usually live when it comes to planning a vacation.
Correct, correct.
So,
Yes.
for me, I recently visited Kerala with my family. It was our first time
Wow.
visiting south side of India. and we enjoyed it a
Mm.
lot. And we keep talking about it. Actually, I've never talked about a state so much before, like Kerala, because it's,
Wow.
and I mean, I've said this before as well, but I used to say this thing like I'm not into South Indian food. I don't enjoy South Indian food. But when I actually visited Kerala and I had authentic South Indian food, that's when I got to know that it's amazing. So that's how you
Mm.
realize the authentic food has has the taste of its own. You get to know when you
Of
actually go there and
course.
experience it.
Yes, yes, of course.
Hmm.
Did you go to Alleppey as well?
Yeah, I did. So
Mm.
we went to houseboat and it was such a surreal experience. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Planned 2 or 3
I
outfits
plan.
for the same day.
Oh, amazing. I think that is one of the best parts of traveling, isn't it? You get to take out all the, stored dresses
Hmm.
from your wardrobe and you can change your looks so many times in the day. And
Hmm.
I think it's kind of fun as well.
Yeah. And you also mentioned you have
Mm.
cats. So you're a cat
Oh,
person then.
yes.
Hmm.
I was never a cat person. I was never a pet person. I was super scared of animals, anything that is furry. But we shifted to this house last year in July, around
Hmm.
the same time. And
Hmm.
after that, this society does not have too many dogs. This society has more of cats. Okay. So
Okay.
one of the cats, that's an adult cat,
Hmm.
she used to come to our place, and my brother is very fond of cats. So he used to, feed her, give her milk, and all of that. But she used to stay outside. And in the month of November, suddenly one morning, she brings her kitten and comes to our balcony. Not outside, but she directly jumps into the balcony in my
Hmm.
brother's room. And my brother is like, listen, it has got a kitten and all of that. And that's the day when all three of them, like three kittens, okay? So she came in, she moved in with her
Hmm.
kittens. And since November 23rd, they have been staying with us. And that's when I became a cat person.
Hmm.
And now I am not that scared of pets anymore. Now I'm not that scared of furry animals anymore. And now somehow, like, they have become a part of my life. So
Hmm.
even if it is my morning stretching or my morning yoga or me going to the garden and looking at the plants or me
Hmm.
taking classes, they're always around me. Like even now when we are talking, one is sitting right here in front of me. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's how, that's how it has turned out to be. And I think it's very
Hmm.
beautiful, whatever, however it has turned out to be.
Hmm. So how old is she? The mother, I mean.
Oh, the mother. Not sure about the mother because we
Okay.
haven't seen her, since her birth. But
Hmm.
what I think probably she must be around at least 2.5 years old, probably.
Hmm.
These now they are in their seventh month or eighth month. Yeah.
Okay.
And they are also growing up fast.
Hmm. Yeah, kids grow up so fast. We don't even realize.
Yeah, yeah. And to be
Yeah.
very honest, I always keep saying this to all my friends that
Hmm.
there is no difference than a human kid, apart from the fact that these will never be able to speak, and human kids
Hmm.
can speak once they grow up. But apart from that, they are clingy, they are needy, they
Hmm.
would play, and they would throw tantrums, they do all sort of stuff.
Hmm.
So, they're quite enjoyable and
Hmm.
also mischievous at the same time.
Yeah, and they have their own nature. Some cats are introverts,
Yes,
some are extroverts. So people don't realize that they have their own nature and they
own
have their own
nature. Yes.
personality. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, they do.
Hmm.
They do. So these three are siblings, but all three of them have different natures.
Hmm.
And we thought that there is one guy and two girls. So we thought that the guy is very, I would say, outgoing and courageous and all of
Yeah.
that. But we took them on a trip, and that's
Hmm.
when we realized it's the opposite. On the
Hmm.
trip, the guy was the one who was more scared, and the girls were like, they were enjoying the entire ride, they enjoyed the hotel and all of that.
Hmm.
But the guy took a long time to come out of it. So they have different personalities inside and
Hmm.
outside as well. So yeah.
Hmm. But it must be chaotic, right? Having three kittens in the house. I mean, I had a dog, but it was also very chaotic
Mm.
because they are full of energy and they keep running around. They need a lot of attention. They're very demanding.
Right.
Hmm.
They are. At times, they can be really demanding, but somehow I feel these three are quite well behaved.
Hmm.
Somehow, because they had that. Because if you have one dog or one kitten at home,
Hmm.
they are mostly craving for attention
Yeah.
and they want to play with you. But here, because they are together, they
Hmm.
had each other's company since childhood.
Hmm.
So for them, they have, separate timelines. There
Yeah.
will be a time when they are too energetic and they will play within themselves. Then there will be times when they are feeling sleepy and they individually want attention from us. So they will
Hmm.
come and they will sit on our lap and they would want to play with us and they would want to be funny at times. So sometimes they need individual attention. Most of the times they are together and they are playing. Sometimes when they are hungry, then all three of them will come and they will start, squeaking and screaming that, okay, give us food now.
Hmm.
So that is also very interesting to see and observe because every day they kind of do something new and then you get to learn something new about their nature.
Hmm. Although, I mean, the equation of cats and dogs is completely different. So for
Yeah.
cats is like for dogs, it's like you own the dog, but cats own you. That's the thing. So you cannot force a cat to, sit, make her sit on your lap. I mean, it
Yeah.
depends on her mood, totally on her
Yes,
mood.
absolutely.
But for the dog,
Absolutely.
they kind
Yeah.
of get adjusted to it and they try to adjust with you actually to whatever you are feeling,
Mm,
whatever your mood is. So yeah, that's the
true,
difference. So I've always been
true,
a
true.
dog person because I didn't have
Mm,
that much of a great experience with the cat because a stray
mm,
cat came to our house, I think, when I was 6 or 7 years old.
mm, mm-hmm,
Um, and so I provided her with this with some biscuits and some food, roti, chapati. She had it and then she bit me.
oh,
I mean,
oh my God.
that was very unexpected. I mean, I was trying to pet her after she
Mm,
had her food, but she bit me and then she left. So that's the image I
oh,
have of cats. Although I know, I mean,
yeah.
cats, all of them are different, but that trauma, if you even want to
Mm.
label it as trauma, so yeah, that's what happened, and that's why I'm just a dog person, I guess.
Right, right. That
Hmm.
happens. I myself have been. I think if a big dog comes in front of me now, I will still be scared. I will not be able to go near it or touch it. But yeah, smaller dogs, I think I can handle them now. I
Hmm.
realized it when my cat was sick and we had to take her to the vet for quite a few days at a stretch, and we met
Hmm.
a lot of pets out there. So that's when I realized that, okay, because earlier I used to be really, really scared of dogs, like,
Hmm.
anything furry for that matter. But that change I could understand, during this 2 weeks phase where we had
Yeah.
to go to the vet every single day and we met a lot of pets. So, yeah,
Hmm.
that happens when you have something in your mind that has happened or you have seen and that has actually left some impact on you. Of course, you will feel that, for a very long time in your life.
Hmm. Also, I'm just
Mm.
not really good at reading the body language of cats. Because for dogs, it's very
Mm.
simple. They're going to growl if they don't want you nearby, or they're going to wag their tail. There are like different things how you can find out if they're friendly or not. But for cats, I could never find out because um, I mean, it was very rare to have a cat visit our house
Ah,
because of the stray dogs nearby. So yeah, that's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That happens. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I
Okay.
think we could switch to books now, which I think might be our favorite
Ah.
topic.
Yes. So yeah, just like you, I have been always a fiction reader. I can't
Hmm.
read, non-fiction, self-help and all of that because I just, after one page, I am bored and
Hmm.
then I am sleepy. Because for me, I am a very imaginative kind of a person. So if I'm
Hmm.
reading something in my mind, I'm watching a movie. So it's not just me reading. I have faces to those characters. I can see what they are
Hmm.
doing and what they are saying. So for me, it works like that.
Hmm.
Now, whenever I, I have tried reading self-help books or non-fiction, it has been a disaster. But then it is also true that they have a lot of interesting stuff and
Hmm.
meaningful stuff that you can learn from. So what did I do? Initially I wanted to try if there are audiobooks on YouTube. And
Hmm.
that's when I found out most of the books are available in audiobook format on YouTube. So
Hmm.
that's when I started plugging in my earphones. And whenever I go for a walk, I listen to self-help books at that time.
Hmm.
And that really worked for me
Yeah.
because it keeps me entertained during my walk. I am consuming something that is meaningful and I'm not having to read that. So for me,
Hmm.
that was a win win. And that is the hack that I found out for myself.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, so a funny story. I mean, I was talking to Rajni Verma and I thought maybe we could talk about books, but her preference is completely different. So she's a lot into self-help books and
Mm.
manifesting and whatever that is. And then I looked so silly on her podcast because I kept talking about these fictional books, and she mentioned like she lives in a realistic world, and so it was, yeah, it was kind of awkward. So I had to take some suggestions
Mm.
from her, and I actually ended up purchasing one of the self-help books that she mentioned, but it's just sitting there on the shelf and I haven't read it.
No,
Yeah.
so that's what I keep telling a lot of people. Um,
Mm.
what mostly people do is people always think from their perspective what has worked for them and they try
Mm.
to talk about that, right?
Yeah.
But what is important to understand for everybody is that every person is different.
Mm.
Everyone's choices are different, right?
Yeah.
So there is nothing wrong with reading nonfiction. There is
Mm.
nothing wrong with believing in manifestation. That's a funny story I'll tell you.
Mm.
I have recently realized that most of my life I have been manifesting and visualizing and whatnot, but I was never aware of the term. So
Mm.
now it hits me when I, look at the reels and all of that, that, oh, I have been manifesting. That means I've been visualizing. So that's
Mm.
another story. But of course, reading fiction does not mean that you are not living in the real world. Of course not. That is,
Yeah.
that has no context because
Mm.
um, art is inspired from life. Life is not inspired from art,
Mm.
right? So it's very important to understand that. And reading fictions, I think I have gained most of my initial knowledge about people, about the language,
Mm.
about how or what ways does your decisions impact your life. And to be very honest, when I listen to what is being written or what is being said in a self-help book,
Mm.
somewhere I can always link it to a fiction that I have already read
Mm.
long time ago, long before that self-help book was made or written.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the context. But the thing is, we all need to understand and identify what works for us and not go by what worked for somebody else.
Mm.
It can be, it can be Elon Musk saying that, oh, this book has changed my life. That book might not do anything to me as well,
Yeah.
right? So we need to be mindful of that and we need to look for the things that are working for us and
Mm.
then we need to create our own ways and our own methods to go around them.
Mm. The thing that you mentioned about learning English via books and also being able to identify various kind of personalities through the book, that happened with me as well. So I remember when I was 13 years old and I started showing interest in fictional novels. So I'm grateful to my school for that. Actually, we had such a huge library at our school, and so many books you could choose from. So I started just randomly, I started searching the section of fictional novels, and at that time I read a lot of books like Nancy Drew, Famous Five, all these books that teenagers read. And
Right.
that's how I got super involved into this. After that, like now,
Absolutely.
my preference is thriller genre or murder mystery. Those are the kind of
Mm.
books that I prefer. But I've read a lot of them
Mm.
when I was a teenager, like romance novels, and there were obviously the um, I don't know what genre to put it in. The Famous Five. I mean, it was
For sure. The
adventurous.
famous five. Hmm.
Yeah.
It is kind of a, adventure book,
Hmm.
kids book rather, children's book.
Hmm.
I remember reading Enid Blyton, and that was The Castle of Adventure. I was
Hmm.
probably in class 2 or 3, and I think that was my first book that I full-fledged read
Hmm.
very quickly within days or something during my summer vacation. And
Hmm.
trust me when I say this, and I have a very strong memory. I remember things from when I was 2 years old.
Hmm.
So that book I read, and that's when I started picturizing things in my mind. And I still remember that book. I still remember, hazy things that I
Hmm.
had picturized from that book. And that's the kind of, bond that you create. If you are reading a good book, a good fiction, you can
Hmm.
create a bond with it, and you will remember things from it for a very long time in your life,
Hmm.
right? So for me, like, one of my favorite authors is Sidney Sheldon. Like,
Hmm.
give me his, those books multiple times and I can read them. I love
Hmm.
his work, and how he portrays his characters. Um, all characters, I would say, like females, of course, great
Hmm.
characters, but all the characters in his books, they are
Hmm.
so sharp and they are so well constructed. Love his
Hmm.
work. So nowadays, I am very fond of Amish Tripathi. So I just completed the Shiva trilogy earlier this year, and
Hmm.
then now I have started with the Ramayan series. So I'm really liking his work as well these days.
Hmm. Okay, well, that sounds great. So, what genre does he usually write?
He, okay, what his take is, he takes up Indian mythology
Hmm.
and he tries to portray it as a normal man or a
Hmm.
person, a human being. If Shiva, like in Shiva trilogy, he talks about the ordinary man Shiva and how he became a god who is revered by people even now through
Hmm.
his deeds. So it is definitely fiction, because whatever we have heard or learned in the Shiv Puran,
Hmm.
it is the same kind of events, but he tries to explain it in a more real life kind of a scenario, and he
Hmm.
tries to explain it with logic. And he also, tries to portray the fact that whatever you do or whatever you get in life is, at the end of the day, the result of your decision and your action.
Hmm.
So that's the basis of his writing.
I actually might have read this book. I mean, I remember my
Hmm.
friend reading this book in ninth grade. Is this book an older one?
Yeah, yeah. It has Immortals of Meluha, and then you
Yeah.
have the Nagas, and then you have Vayuputras. 3 books.
Hmm. So I think I
Hmm.
have read it when I was in ninth grade because my friend read it and she suggested this to me. So I
Yeah.
don't remember reading the complete book, but a few parts of it, I
Hmm.
think. And
Ah,
so
okay.
Shivji is portrayed as a human being with all these flaws, and I think that's,
Yes.
yeah, something like
Yes.
that. Hmm.
Yes. Right. Right.
Hmm. So
So
I
yeah,
think,
I
yeah.
like reading, and I love fiction.
Hmm. When it comes to
Mhm.
me, the recent one I read is The Silent Patient by Frida
Mm-hmm.
McFarlane. So it's a thriller genre.
Okay.
It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing one. So do you want me to describe the plot?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I
All
love
right.
thriller as well.
Hmm. So the protagonist, he is a therapist, a psychotherapist, and
Mm-hmm.
he comes across a patient, a woman who has not spoken in years, I think 10 years or so. not a single word.
Oh.
And the
Mm.
rumor is that apparently she killed her husband 10 years ago, but she's not saying anything. I mean, in court, she doesn't say anything, she doesn't defend herself. And so, like, people are confused about what actually happened. Because there are doubts whether she actually killed him or not, but she is, I mean,
Mm.
regardless of that, she is sent to the, admitted into the mental hospital because she doesn't say anything. She
Mm.
doesn't have any expressions whatsoever. And so, this guy, the main lead, he's determined to make her speak no matter what happens. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is what the entire series is. He keeps talking to her, she doesn't respond, and he's about to give up when she. Do you want me to spoil it for you, or if you ever plan on reading
You
it?
can, but you will spoil it for everybody who is listening.
Okay. Well, I'll just give a spoiler warning, I guess. So yeah, I mean, she
Mm.
ends up speaking in the end, and like
Mm.
that's, and there are a lot of plot twists actually, like a lot of which I'm not going to talk about, but
Yeah.
something that you wouldn't expect, because throughout the book you kind of know what's going to happen, those kind of
Mm.
predictable books, like, yeah, I've read a lot of books, I can easily predict the ending, but it's something like that's the ending that you would least expect. That's the ending of the book.
Yeah.
So that's why I enjoyed it.
Mm.
And those kind of plot twists that occur, that you have to just close the book and process what happened.
I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for like
True,
five
true.
minutes.
Now I'm intrigued. Now I want to read this.
Hmm. Yeah, it is amazing. Highly recommended.
Yeah, why
Highly
don't you
recommended.
send me the name after the session? Why don't you just send me the
Yeah,
name of it so that I can order it because I'm now really intrigued to
yeah,
read
sure.
this.
And there's also an audiobook in on YouTube
Oh,
and
amazing.
Spotify.
No, I like to read. I like to
Hmm.
read. When it's fiction, you have to read it.
Hmm. So in case if you want to, and actually I saw a meme about, not about the book, but about book lovers in general. So what happens is we
Mm.
usually visualize the characters. What
Yeah,
happens is the authors don't fully tell us what the character exactly looks like. They just drop hints.
correct,
And throughout the book, they are going to
correct.
keep telling us the full form, like the full formation of the character. And so we have
Right,
this, we visualize them, and it's really hard for us to switch it. I mean,
right. Yeah.
I was imagining a man with full hair, and then in the end, the author says that a bald guy, like he was a bald guy all along. So
Yeah,
these,
then it's very difficult. Oh, how do I change
yeah.
that person's
Also, I've
entire
noticed
personality?
that, yeah, also I've noticed that when I was a teenager, it was very easy for me to visualize things compared to now. I mean, I
Mm.
still do, but the kind of, I don't know, the fantasy world we live in when we are teenagers is something else. The
It's
things that you're
different.
able to
Yeah,
come up with. Yeah.
it's different. Correct, correct.
So that's cool.
Okay, nice. Fantastic. All right. So, Niyati, I think this was a great discussion. I can talk a lot more with you.
Hmm.
However, today we don't have enough time, but I would definitely want to connect with you one more time and we can
Hmm.
discuss more about this part of
Hmm.
visualizing that you spoke about.
Yeah.
Something really interesting. And, I have also got the answer for this from a book called The Alchemist when
Hmm.
I reread it after a long time. Okay. So next time we
Hmm.
meet, I'm definitely going to tell you that story, what
Oh, for
happened and
sure.
what I understood.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking out the time, because I know you're such a busy person. Thank you so much, and have a great
You're
day ahead.
most welcome.
Hmm.
You too have a wonderful day and take care of yourself. You're a lovely, lovely person and keep doing the wonderful work that you are
Yes.
doing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That made
All
my day,
right.
actually. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Take care.